because I feel like I can't grow because I can't get more customers, or I can't, because at the minute I am getting customers, but it's like, how can I get more? I don't have the time to actually do those activities, so I feel like I'm soon going to get stuck.
Hannah,
Hi.
thank you so much for coming into the studio.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to talk about your company, Hannah Pratt Clothing.
Yeah.
Right, because you've obviously got your own clothing company. So tell us how you came up with the idea for this and when you started it.
So I go to a lot of festivals, and I was getting kind of frustrated with the clothing that was in all the stores. I felt like it was all very black, all the same sort of style of things.
Okay.
I didn't feel very represented in the shops, and I've always liked fashion, so I just started making my own clothes. And then a lot of friends liked my stuff, and I thought, well, why don't I try it, give it a go, and make a business out of it.
This is where the best businesses are born, right? Because you're doing something you wanted to do anyway.
Yeah.
And then most people kind of go, oh my God, I really like that top. Where'd you get it? You go, well, I made it, right? So if you want one, I'll make one for you. You make all your own clothing yourself?
Yes, I do.
So how long does it take you? Like, what are you wearing now that's your own?
So this top is my own, this one.
Okay, so how long would it take you to make a top like that?
Under 2 hours.
Oh, okay, so that quick?
Yeah, it's just, what takes time is like the cutting it out, and then like the pinning it, and then sewing it. So it's all like,
right.
It doesn't actually take that long constructing it, but it's like from beginning to the very end. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And where do you find most of your customers now?
So on Instagram, otherwise I do markets, and then I'll promote my Instagram, but obviously there's a lot of people who come to those markets, yeah.
So when it comes to your audience, right,
Yeah.
because this one we normally talk to other entrepreneurs about as well, is how well do you know your audience, let's say? Like, so if you go, right, who would be a typical customer of yours?
Well, I like to feel typical customer is like almost like me, so
right.
Because it was based on me, so it would be like 20 to 30, likes to go out, likes colourful clothing.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've got your idea. It's 20 to 30-year-olds. So where are they hanging out? Like, have you done research into like majority of my audience are hanging out? They're not on Facebook. They're on Instagram.
I actually haven't, and that's something that I've started to like look into, understanding the audience better. All of it's kind of come just naturally, just from me kind of guessing and then finding out, well, this has worked.
Right.
So I am looking into how I can do that more systematically. Because in terms of like where they hang out, I just focus on where I wanted to wear the clothes. So then that made me think, okay, so people who like festivals, people who like going out.
Yeah.
Because it's African inspired, I was looking for people who were obviously really interested in African inspired clothing or anything to do with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long, you're going now, what, about 2 years?
Yeah.
You're making a lot of the clothes you said yourself, right?
Yes.
At what stage does it get too busy that you now need to look for a manufacturer? And how difficult is that? Because now you've got to, cause I'm sure you're so particular on the way you would make something, and if something's not right, you're not sending it out.
Yeah.
So at what stage are you going to look? Because obviously I'm sure you want to grow.
Yes.
Do you stop making yourself and start looking for a manufacturer?
That is actually something I'm thinking about now, because I can still make the clothing, but what I'm finding difficult is having time to do all the other parts of the business. When I first started, I only really thought about the product.
Yeah.
So like, get a product, get a website. But now I've learned about all like the marketing, newsletters, blogs, all the content, all the other areas of business.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I have enough time to actually do the bits that would grow the business, so I can make the clothes.
Because you're spending so much time in manufacturing.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's always, you can't really put that off, because people need the orders and things like that. So that always takes priority, which means that everything else always gets pushed back.
Okay.
So I am.
Which is a big problem of its own.
Yeah. Because I feel like I can't grow because I can't get more customers. Or I can't, because at the minute I am getting customers, but it's like, how can I get more? I don't have the time to actually do those activities. So I feel like I'm soon going to get stuck. So yeah, I feel like that's where I'm kind of at now, and also because I'm enjoying making the clothes less, because I know there's all this other stuff.
I get you.
I need to do.
So like, when it comes to finding a manufacturer, how are you going to find someone that like fits your bill?
I have no idea just yet. I mean, online is the natural place to go. I know a lot of people do like use Alibaba and find in China, but I would like to actually go to the manufacturers and actually meet them and make sure that I'm happy with the whole process. I wouldn't feel comfortable just doing offline. I've heard a lot of problems that people have sometimes had where they don't have that direct contact or ability to like just talk to someone and just be like, this is how it needs to be done.
Or sometimes it might even be a language barrier or something.
Exactly. So and just like the time difference, all those things. So I will explore that option because it might work out, but then also trying to look if there are any UK manufacturers that do low minimum order quantities.
Has this gotten bigger than you expected to get, or is it grown the way you thought it would?
To be honest, I never really thought about it when I started. When I started, I kind of just thought, this is what I want to do. I need to start now, because if I don't start now, I never will. And I think it hasn't got bigger than I would have thought it yet, because I feel like I know it can grow a lot, and that's why I feel like quite restricted at the minute, because I feel like I know it has potential. I've been stuck being able to do it, especially because I only started doing it full time literally a couple of weeks ago. I was working full time while doing it on the side, so that was a massive difficulty as well.
I see on your website you've kind of got your summer season out, right? Yeah. Is that the biggest or the most busiest time of year for you? It would be around summer. Because
my clothes are very colourful and they are naturally very summery, and it's easy for me to think of designs for summer. I would say that is my core time, but then how I can do other seasons, like I do sell, I don't have it at the moment just because of the new collection, but like t-shirts and stuff is something I can sell all year round. And now I actually, before I was using African print fabric and then making the designs, but now I also make my own prints on fabric. So then that gives me the freedom to make more seasonal clothing, because then I can choose colours that aren't so bright in summer. I could choose like deeper colours and stuff to help me.
Like, how difficult has it been doing everything yourself? Because like you do, but you do fall back on things. Like you hear of some companies where, oh, I didn't have time to invoice someone, and it's real, you didn't invoice them. Like that's going to affect your cash flow. You know, because like the later you invoice them, the longer they're going to take to pay. And a lot of startups and entrepreneurs fall into the same trap where, like you're spending all your time manufacturing the product, and other things are slipping, where you think that's the most important thing, which it is, obviously, to keep customers happy, but you need to generate new customers, you need to keep money coming in. So like, is there anyone out there that's been helping you? Have you been able to outsource anything?
Well, my mum sews.
Okay, all
so
right,
when I get really stressed, the family get stuck in and help with the sewing. But other than that, I mean, I have a friend who knows a bit about business and has helped me like more refine what I'm focusing on and think about a plan and stuff. But generally I would say no, because I think I really underestimated what a business takes when I started the business. I really just thought about, I had a good product, I knew that the product was a good idea, but I didn't think about all the other bits that you need to run a business. And I only think I really understood that as well when I was working for a startup business. And I saw it was an e-commerce business, so obviously different product, but the same sort of process. And I saw just how important all the other bits and what it took to do all the other bits. So I think I underestimated that, and I try not to put too much pressure on myself because I do it all myself. So I understand that I can't do everything, and that I can't, take over the world right now, because it is just me. So I think a massive part of it has just been me going day to day. But now I'm at the point where I'm tired of being day to day, and I want to be less reactive and actually plan in advance.
Do you think there's enough support out there? Because like you're a prime example of someone who's setting up their own business based on something they love doing. You were making clothing for yourself, and other people started recognizing it and asking you where you bought it, and you said you made it yourself. You're a prime example of someone who starts something, right, that didn't set out to start something. And then falls into the trap of I wasn't too sure of what was involved in running a business, because you didn't do a business course going right now I need to come up with a business. You're doing it the other way around, right? So do you find that there's enough out there to support you and help you with things like that?
I think you have to look for it, is what I'm finding. And I don't feel like there's loads out there where you come across it all the time and it's like, oh great. I feel like I've noticed it because I've started a business, but I feel like you definitely have to look for it. There are a few Instagram accounts that I follow that are targeted towards people who want to start a business and kind of giving their insight.
Have they helped you?
They have. So one is called Noble Business School. So she runs like business courses, but she gives like a lot of advice. And so I feel like pages like that are good.
What have you gotten from that?
What have I gotten from that? Well, I actually did join one of the courses. So there was an Instagram course and there was a branding course. But it's just like tiny things that are like common sense, but like it's like a brainwave when you hear them. You're like, oh, that makes sense. But you just never would have thought of it like that. I think sometimes it's that thing of you never know how you're going to learn something or when it's going to click. And so sometimes you do need information from different places, because you can read it in a book and it won't make sense. And someone will say something and you'll be like, that makes so much sense. I got you, So, and also just like having a place where like someone I can ask a question to, or so I feel there are communities out there. It's just sometimes finding them is a bit tricky. But
Last question. What has been like you've gone into business in an area that is, I won't say flooded, but you've got some like big competitors, and then you do have a lot of people in your situation. Like, so have you found it easy Do you find it difficult going into a market like that like people are either shopping on the high streets or they're coming looking for a company like yours?
I think what I find difficult is you just like have to stay true to what you do. I think sometimes when there are so many other big companies out there and you kind of look at what they do and you kind of feel like you want to like not replicate, but you feel like if this is the sort of thing they're doing, maybe I should do something like that too. But you have to like trying to remember that actually I'm a small business and it completely is a different market, and that people do buy from me because I make it myself, and they can see who it's come from. Or like I've had people who have seen a video of how I've made one of the t-shirts and bought it straight away because they're like, I've seen how much you've put into it. So I think it's just remembering that it is those things that actually are what helps. Because sometimes I think when you see all the big businesses, you kind of feel like no one wants to see that. I need to be doing all this other great stuff, but you have to just remember what you're doing, and that there are people that do care.
So where can people find you on Instagram?
At Hannah Pratt Clothing.
Brilliant. Hannah, thank you so much for coming in, and best luck with the company.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.